So will the courts be the final arbiter in deal or no deal Brexit for the United Kingdom? That's the question I'm putting through to Juliana Olayinka, my colleague from our London, standing by in our London studios. Juliana, thank you so much for standing by. We spent most of the time talking about bread and pizza and what have you. I hope you can get a bit of this sniffing around the studios this morning. So, Brexit is still, everybody's back to Brexit. The Saudi oil tax is receding in terms of grabbing the headlines. So, will the courts be the final arbiter to decide how Brexit will go?
Good morning, Bosun. I can't smell that pizza, by the way, but it looked really lovely. But no, we've got some serious issues going on in London today, just a stone's throw away from where I am. And really, it's a case that could determine or reset the boundaries between Parliament and the executive. Britain's most senior judges, the Supreme Court, will be sitting over 3 days to decide whether or not Boris Johnson's decision to prorogue or suspend Parliament was indeed illegal. We already have had hearings in Northern Ireland, in England and in Scotland. And in Northern Ireland and England, those judges ruled and deemed that the act was indeed fair. But of course, more recently, the highest court in Scotland said it was illegal and that Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, may have indeed told a fib or a lie to the Queen. It is seen to be serious. There are several very senior figures in court at the moment. It will be live. It's showing live on Parliament Square, and the proceedings have already started. But there are some suggestions that Boris Johnson may indeed lose out over the next 3 days. And if so, then that could really change the course of history. We are already in uncharted territory here in the UK, but it's down to these final judges and whether or not they rule with Scotland or they rule with England and Northern Ireland.
Great. We have days still ahead to see what the drama that is around Brexit is all about. And I'm sure that drama is not going to come to an end on October the 31st. I can bet that. It's not going to be over on October 31st. It's just going to maybe likely enters a new phase. But something that is going to be on everyone's mind, I'm sure, including yourself, is about this new smart energy meter that news says is not going to come into effect until 2024. So how will you energy consumers in the UK pull through? We're still trying to find electricity meters in Nigeria here for what you call accurate billing. But what is this about the same electricity meters in the smart meters in the UK?
Well, this is a really interesting story, and a story that affects many people in the UK. Not me, I have a smart meter, and I'm sure many of our viewers who are in the UK may have them. And this happened because in 2012, you know, the government made it a legal obligation for energy suppliers to make sure that these were fitted in households for two reasons. One was because we were estimating the cost of gas and energy, how much we were spending and how much we were using. And
estimated billing in the
a
UK.
lot of people were coming into the market.
Hold on a second, Juliana. Hold on a second, Juliana. Estimated electricity billing in the US, in the UK?
Estimated billing, which is still taking place, which is where lies the problem, because some people have been fitted with these meters, other people haven't. And if you do have one of these meters, you're expected to be saving up to £250 a year. And of course, considering that Britain is really trying to clamp down on energy consumption, people were also able to see how much they were using, so whether or not they should put their gas on for a certain period of time. But they've realized that these meters have had a series of issues, some of them being that they would get jammed, or if people want to change or switch their energy supplier, it would stop working altogether. So the government have had consultation, and they've determined that it will take another 4 years for this to be rolled out in homes across England, Wales and Scotland, and perhaps Lagos in the distant future.
I love it when it's a Tuesday and you can have all the wish that you want. 2024, let's see if we meet you guys up there before then. 2024, 4 years from now, I'm sure we should be able to sort ourselves out as you guys are doing in the UK. Thank you so much. You've just energized today's conversation here on the show. Thank you, Juliana Olayinka. but I'll talk about
Thank you,
estimated
Bosun.
billing in the UK. That's a big story, isn't it? Sounds amazing. Let's bring in Temple Ashajo here. Temple has been in the wings waiting at the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange for us to get through to him on the show. We've had a very nice time, Temple. Unfortunately, you don't have any pizza or bread. Where you are on the trading floor is not allowed. You only trade in stocks, bonds, and derivatives on the floor there, so it looks like a dry one for you there. But again, we work something out for you. You heard about estimated billing, electricity billing in the UK. That's amazing. We thought it was only in Nigeria.
Of course, I mean, everyone knows that a cost-reflective tariff, electricity tariff, is the way to go, and that's what we've been battling with. That's what we've been trying to get in Nigeria in recent times. We know that some of the discos have now come up with some strategies to now do some kind of willing buyer, willing seller initiative for some estates, for some areas in Lagos, and of course a couple of other places upland. Well, if the UK is going to be having estimated billing, perhaps it's time for them to experience what we've been experiencing for decades here in Nigeria.
No, Temple, don't go that way. Don't give some folks down here the incentive to think that, oh yeah, they do estimated billing in the UK. Why don't you do it in Nigeria? Don't just go there, Temple. I'm a little bit upset when it comes to that. I haven't had electricity for about 10 months. The transformer has been away, and I've been running on generator for 10 months. No, it's past the age of sorry. I'm just getting used to it. But again, they're just getting me to contribute to the carbon footprint and the global emission, which is not good for my health and everyone of 9 billion of us on planet Earth. But let's talk more about the Bismarck Rewani, Doyin Salami and the rest. Is this something that the market, the traders and others are talking about this morning? President Buhari's new squad team, Rambo team that is expected to hit the ground. 8 members, they can get in the night, get the job done, and move out. Anyone happy about that?
This is good music to the ears of investors. A lot of people are really happy about that. Investors, traders, all at large, retail and corporates are really happy to hear that. It's good music to their ears because this is something that they've been looking forward to for long in the country. I mean, what traders here are saying is that if the cabinet cannot be constituted of, experts like these, then having this economic advisory council is the way to go because they can better advise the president, especially with the fact that these guys are also in tune with the capital market. They're in touch with reality when it comes to investment space. They know what the foreign portfolio investors are saying. They know what the domestic investors also really want. They know what the private sector really wants. So this is something that they are buying into, and they're really waiting to see how their decisions will change the paradigm for the markets.
Okay, so everyone is happy about this new economic. I'm sure they'll be on the outlook. Any idea how the market is starting off today in just about 10, 20 seconds?
Oh, sure, Bosun. I mean, the market is looking good. It's up north right now with, the buy sentiment that we saw yesterday being maintained, even though we know that towards the close of markets, we saw a little bit of sell down on Airtel and, of course, Dangote Cement, where we saw a bit of profit taking. But given the factors that we've been seeing in the economy, the fact that President Buhari won the tribunal last week, Friday, the fact that we're seeing inflation beginning to taper, the fact that we now have this Economic Advisory Council, being announced and will be taking effect any moment from now, it's good news to the market. Investors are bullish on this administration. That looks to be like what they really want to see, and it is here.
Okay, thank you so much, Temple. If you get back to the studios early enough, perhaps you'll catch a bit of that Babajide Ogunsanwo's. If you don't meet the pizza, you might meet just a little bit of the bread, which is, I'm not sure, is as sexy and sweet as the pizza is. Have a great day, Temple, and have a great day to all our viewers here in Nigeria and around the world. This is Channels Television, Nigeria's news leader. I'll see you again tomorrow, Wednesday, the 18th of September.